Hello everyone, this is my assignment number 4 for MIT 805, which was a reflection on assignments 2 and 3, and also a reflection for our digital collaboration communities. I was part of the digital community of learning strategies, which had 7 members. Autumn set up our community for us, did a nice job with that, and she also contributed for a multi-generational classroom. Tom was in our classroom and provided information that had to deal with project-based learning and also how it referred to professional development. While the other 5 of us, we mostly centered our resources around project-based learning. I've used Google Communities for my master's classes this far, so I've already experienced all the positives that digital learning communities offer. I think it's a great tool for everyone to share their opinions and offer information to their classmates. I'm actually actively working on using digital communities in my own classroom. The only thing is I'm having a little bit of issues with it because most of my students are under the age of 13, which kind of seems to be that threshold, especially with Google, whether those students can participate or not. What I've learned from this collaboration project is that I believe participation by group members most likely needs to have some sort of trigger. Don't get me wrong, I love looking at all the resources that my classmates posted in the community, but it didn't necessarily motivate me to want to start up a conversation about what the articles or the resources offered. I'll be completely honest and say that I probably wouldn't actively participate in our class discussions if it weren't tied to some sort of incentive like the grades that we get for posting to those conversations. Now, if I were asked a question by another classmate, then I'd have no issues in taking up a conversation with them. But then again, I think that is that trigger that I'm talking about where you need something that's going to promote that participation. I think when I'm applying that into my own classroom, I would have a range of feelings much like how I would feel about it or how some of us have kind of posted, whether they like it or not. So I think I'm going to find students who enjoy a digital collaboration community. I'm going to find other students who don't. Another item that I feel I've learned from this assignment is that small teams would probably work best for collaboration because everyone worked at their own pace. Early on in this assignment, there were just a few sporadic posts by classmates, and it actually made it a little bit easier to go through all those resources that were posted and read through them and actually take some of it in. But as time went on, and we had 7 members communicating and sharing resources, before we knew it, there were about 35 resources to go through, and I think that just made it a little bit harder to sift through all that information. If there were about 4 members, I think that would probably be ideal. 4 members, each posting about 5 resources. 20 resources, it's still a lot, but I feel that would be much more manageable than 35. I can remember a college professor that I had in college that always talked about less is more, and I kind of feel like right now less is more when we're talking about the number of members in a group. Some of the things that I'll take away from this assignment is definitely the resources that I found on project-based learning through my own research and the research of my classmates that were in our group. I really like the pblu.org website that I had found, which had many project-based learning activities that were ready to go. They're ready to implement. It's great that these communities will also remain open, and I can always come back to them if I need to, if I've forgotten about a certain resource, or I just want to look up some more information that has to do with project-based learning. It's nice to know that they're always going to be there and I can come back to them. It was also nice being able to be added to the other communities where I didn't collaborate to offer those resources, because if I ever decide that I want to work with social media in the classroom, I can go to that group and I can use those resources that people posted. Something else that I'll take away from this assignment is that I now have that final push that I needed to actually try project-based learning in my own classroom. I've been wanting to give it a try for some time now since I've read about it and researched it. But I never had that confidence or the resources that I needed to actually implement it. So I think now that I have that, I'm ready to go. I've talked about it with my colleagues at school. They're pumped about it. We've been looking at ways to spice up our science curriculum, so I think we found it. So I'm excited about it. They're excited about it, and I think my students are going to be really excited about it too. And the last thing that I'll add that I take away from this assignment is that I kind of formed a bond with albeit a digital bond with the classmates that were in my group. Having participated with them in this assignment, seeing the things that they posted and listening to their comments on my resources, kind of instilled that form of trust that I believe as the last few weeks of this class wind down, I'll probably be a little bit more attracted to the things that those other 6 people have to say, just because we've worked on this assignment together. So I think that same type of thing would happen in my own classroom if I were able to implement a digital community. I think that I would find students would interact with students that they wouldn't necessarily interact with ordinarily, because a digital collaboration community brought them together. So there you have it. That's my reflection on this assignment. Thanks for watching.